Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday night, everyone. My name is 12 Gauge, and this is my channel, 12 Gauge Investigative. I hope you guys are doing well and staying warm, especially if the weather is not so pleasurable in your part of the country. It's really weird down here in Texas. The weather has been starting off in the 20s in the morning and then jumping up to about 56 and then dropping back down. The other morning, I wouldn't say we had a lot of precipitation. Almost said participation. Precipitation, but there was, enough to wet the ground. I'm really hoping that we get some of that white stuff eventually because it'd be really nice to see snow, not ice, but snow. I've just been hanging out, dashing, living life, doing the day job, trying to stay out the way. But I thought tonight, what the heck? Even if nobody jumps on, nobody comes in, I'm still going to go live. It's been forever since I've done it. I did some footage last night as I was dashing, but I don't know if you're one of those individuals that knows how to, I guess, transfer GoPro footage to like 1080p or whatever it's called footage, let me know because I'm having a hell of a time at it. But I did, I did put together a video, and I guess we can watch it if you like. But I did another video today as well that I thought was quite interesting because I was talking about something that's really needed to be spoken on in our people, especially this time because we just got through the holidays. There's people that have financial difficulties. There's people that have marital problems. There's people that have all kinds of stuff going on. And it's sad that many turn to pills, alcohol, drugs to deal with the pain. I just lost a schoolmate um 2 days ago to such a tragedy. I don't know the whole details, so I'm not really gonna speak on it or really say anything other than they passed away. As you know, I lost somebody last week to addiction, and it's an ugly thing. It's an ugly thing because most of the time people believe that they have a hold on it when they really don't. You know, I can tell you multitudes of time while in my own addiction, I told people countless times over and over, I got this, I got this. Well, they'd be telling me, hey, you're out of control, bro. You're crashing out, so to speak. And I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it because when you don't want to hear something, you know, all it is a lot of noise to the ears. And that's all it really is a lot of noise. Let's start off with a news story out of Florida. I don't know much about Pokemon, but it said these men were arrested stealing Pokemon cards. And it is beyond me. 10,000 worth of Pokemon cards. It is beyond me how grown people have time to really do this type of stuff, but it's a different generation, different culture. Here we go.
3 people are behind bars for stealing thousands in Pokemon cards and then trying to cash in at a Fort Myers shop. Deputies arrested this trio, Deshaun Boyd, Jimmy Satan, and Jermaine Warren this afternoon.
They took $10,000 worth of the Pokemon cards from Gorka's Pokebarn in Collier County, then tried to sell them to Dynamo Collectibles in Fort Myers. Gulf Coast News report.
So this is in Florida, and you're going to steal from one location, and then you're going to go try to sell it at another. That just doesn't really, I mean, I don't know about you, but that just sounds kind of weird. That you think, A, that you'd get away with it, and B, that nobody would recognize the Pokemon cards. Because if they're as exciting, as expensive, or whatever as people say they are, then, you know, they're going to be on the lookout. You're going to be on the lookout for these cards. And you can bet your sweet ass that whoever stole these Pokemon cards knew that they were going to get caught. I'm going to try to set up my green screen, so here we go. Nope, still not doing it. I don't know. I guess I'm going to stay off camera tonight. As you can tell, my green screen's not working. I don't know what to do with, but let's continue on with the story.
Madison Adams spoke with the store owner who caught them.
And said, that's them, call the cops.
Busted! You're watching Lee County deputies walk in on 3 thieves trying to sell $10,000 worth of Pokemon cards at Dynamo Collectibles off US 41 in Fort Myers.
Right now, card games are the hottest thing.
Each pack is like a lottery ticket. You never know what you're going to find inside. One of these cards could be worth up to $1,000.
Mark Nestico says they walked in his store.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a little more sense now. If something in that Pokemon card could be worth up to $1,000, I could see why they were doing it. Could really see that.
With 29 booster boxes filled with packs of Pokemon cards.
The reason people are stealing these cards primarily is because they're almost untraceable. If you pull a card from a booster pack, there's no serial number.
He distracted the suspects while his employee called 911.
Joking with them, having a really good time. We let them open for packs.
Less than an hour before, deputies say the trio stole them from Gorka's Pokebarn in Collier County using a fraudulent credit card.
We hadn't had advanced knowledge that they were stolen. they almost 100% would have gotten away with it. But they said they were from the area and that one of them was selling the stuff because they were going to foreclose on his house.
The three are in the Lee County Jail. Deputies are
My big question is, did they find any of those Pokemon cards that could have been worth $1,000? Obviously, they crashed out. They went to jail in behind their elaborate scheme.
still investigating. And tonight I noticed more Pokemon cards inside the suspect's car in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah. Let me get my camera back out.
Reporting in Fort Myers, Madison Adams, Gulf Coast News.
So, what is the moral of the story? What did we learn tonight? Thou shalt not mess with stolen Pokemon cards. And if you should have some stolen Pokemon cards, do not go and try to trade them off at something down the street almost. I don't know how close this was, but it's just sad that we're in a country where, you know, people do just about anything for money. But let's switch gears. Let's go into the food industry part. Hey Jeff H. How you doing, buddy? You want to hop on up here with me? Can commentate together on some of this stuff. Here we go. It says people come from all over the world to eat this. Let's see what it is. Well, it looks like an old-fashioned hamburger place. So I don't know about you, but I'm a big sucker for hamburgers. The thicker the meat, the juicier the flavor, I'm all in. This looks like a food truck type thing. It's called Snickers Burger Club. Looks like some Chinese writing on there, some kind of Asian writing, and this looks like oil, of course. I'm not a real smart man, but this looks like the making of some kind of mayo. I could be wrong, but it is in that texture of mayonnaise. Because you know, Burger King has a special sauce, McDonald's has a special sauce, and I learned that all Burger King's special sauce is mayonnaise, ketchup, and mustard all together, and that's what it gives it that signature Burger King taste. McDonald's, on the other hand, has a different special sauce when it comes to the Big Mac. Looky there, they're adding that ketchup and mustard to the mayo. Yeah, this is what I heard was a special sauce for Burger King. I always wondered what it was because it has a distinctive, tangy, kind of sweet taste to the condiment, but now you know. That's something I've never seen before. I've never seen them use cayenne pepper in the flavoring of the sauce. Definitely different. I can't stand pickles. I am not a pickle on my burger type person. I'm sorry. I don't know about y'all. See, that kind of stuff confuses me when I watch these food preparation things. Is you pour it out, you drain it, but then you're gonna pour it back in. Okay. I'm not a smart man, but I think he's gonna make some relish. What do you think? Well, that doesn't even look good. But there you have the Big Mac sauce. But I always thought Big Mac sauce was made with Thousand Island. I guess it is a variation of what this is. It looks like the same concoction. I'm not a foodie, so I don't really know my food that well. I just consume it. All right, get on with the cooking. Let's fast forward. Let's fast forward. Now we're getting to the good part. Putting down the meat potatoes, so to speak. See, those buns look pretty good. I don't know about you, but I like them toasted just like that. Is it just me, or have buns taken a whole new texture, a whole new look? They don't look as flimsy as they used to in some of the older movies you see and some of the older commercials. The buns just look fake these days. You know what I mean? They just look fake. Hold on a second. I'll text you, but here we go. See, they look too perfect, man. They don't have that. I don't know. I guess I was used to them untoasted buns. Maybe that's the difference. What do y'all think? See, that looks like regular mayo. What is that? Is that like some soy sauce? What are you putting on the burger bun? Oh, they're going all out. There's that special sauce right there. See, I'm good with the sauce, but I don't like my burger to be so damn messy that, I'm pretty busy all the time, so I'll be eating on the run. I could eat this burger. It'd be all over me. It would. Driving with a burger in your hand is not recommended. Okay. Giving it some flavor with the jalapenos on it. I see you. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, now we got the patties going on. At least that looks rich. Doing it the old-fashioned way, just smash them down with your hands. Okay. Now, see, I can stand behind this. The patty looks nice and wide. I can stand behind this. Give me a double meat, sir. Put some pepper jack cheese on it. I think this is located overseas, though. That's why it's different. But that meat does look pretty tasty. He seasoned the hell out of it, that's for sure. I don't know what that is. What happened to the patty? The patty, like, disintegrated. That's weird. Not much filler on that patty, huh? That patty just, like, broke up. Two cheeses, okay. I can work with that. It's sure than Five Guys, I'll tell you that. That's what I was gonna say. Put some onions on that bad boy. Put a couple onions. You're good to go. More salt, more pepper. Okay, there we go. Finished product. Yeah, I can stand behind it. I don't know about that. Don't know if I'd go to China for a damn burger. I can find a lot of those locally that look just as good, I guess. I wonder if I'll get in trouble for like broadcasting a live police chase. I think I would. Because you can't broadcast another person while they're broadcasting. Let me see what else I can show on here. Wow, look at this. No, I don't want to play that one. It's really weird. True crime right now, not a lot going on. There's some stuff, happening, but not a lot going on. I guess we could make something out of anything. The investigative means that I investigate a lot of different things, not just true crime, even though I do talk a lot about true crime. That's why I'm showing the foodie stuff, all kinds of weird things. Let's talk about this right here. Let's give this a little showing. I hate this stupid caption thing at the bottom of the screen. Got to figure out how to take it off. Here we go.
This story, of course, has been focused in Minnesota as of late, but this is not just a Minnesota story. Federal officials are searching for a suspect who reportedly injured 3 ICE agents during a traffic stop and vehicle pursuit in Texas back in December. Brooke Taylor of Fox has this. Wanted. This is an illegal migrant from Honduras. They're wanted for ramming his truck into ICE vehicles during a chase in Texas. The 28-year-old suspect was indicted and charged with 3 counts of assaulting federal immigration agents in the Eastern District of Texas. Jerson Lopez Sanchez, the suspect's name. We did get a press conference from officials in Dallas earlier today. Let's play this out.
Attorney for the Eastern District of Texas. Eastern District of Texas, under the leadership of President Trump and Attorney General Bondi, is fully engaged with Operation Take Back America. That's a mission to stop illegal immigration, dismantle cartels, and to protect our communities from violent crime. Operation Take Back America is what it looks like to see law and order in action. As part of this mission to take back America, I'm here today to announce an indictment related to a violent vehicle ramming attack on our Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers, or ICE. Before I get into the facts of that case, but let me state to you that.
And you know, this is a really hot topic right now due to that situation in Minneapolis. And I did a little bit of a story on that probably last week sometime. But it happens all over because there's ICE agents all over the U.S. And they're trying to clean up the cities. I get that from the most violent people. But we have individuals that are trying to run over these people. I guess they are on high alert for that. You know, there's 3 agents right here that got hurt because of one guy.
Vehicles in the hands of individuals who intend to obstruct or evade law enforcement are deadly weapons. When someone runs down an ICE officer or any federal law or local law enforcement officer, those deadly weapons act as battering rams. And it is a violent attack, and it will not be tolerated. Fleeing from the police or obstructing their enforcement isn't acceptable, and we will not stand for it. Now to the facts of this indictment. Today, I announced the indictment of Jerson Lopez Sanchez, a 28-year-old citizen of Honduras. The United States grand jury in Sherman, Texas, has charged him with 3 counts of assaulting federal immigration agents in the Eastern District of Texas.
And you know what's sad about these situations is they're already being hunted, not really hunted, that's a bad word. I'm going to take that back. They're already being pursued for other crimes. And then while in the act of trying to get away, they commit 3 more crimes, serious crimes. I don't know what you think about that, but I think it's pretty telling and it's pretty awful. Because you know, no matter what your position is on the ICE agents, there's, just like with police, there's good, there's bad, and there's in between. And training has a lot to do with your perception on the job, on how you're going to do your job. So I'm not going to stand up here and say that there's only good ICE agents, because I'm pretty sure there's all over the place. And this is coming out of Houston, Texas. truck sniper. Let's see what this is about.
The murder had to happen for the plan to be executed.
Keep your eyes peeled for any haters coming this way.
Greed determines the next move.
I need them good peanuts, man. I need the cashews.
He was a serial killer.
And that's what 12 Gauge sounds like, blasting at you with the true crime. I thought this was just going to be like, I'm not going to do this one. We thought this was going to be just like a newscast. We will watch that another time. I'm just mostly just focusing on short level stuff that we can talk about as the show goes on. Here's a story. Here's a story about an Oklahoma death row inmate just seeking clemency. So let's hear what this story had to say.
For a man on Devon Road convicted for double murder nearly 20 years ago. KSCO's Dakota Wapakichi is live with the latest on Kendrick Simpson. And Dakota, Simpson's attorney says that he understands he'll remain in jail, but argues his PTSD has an impact on him.
Yeah, exactly. Kendrick Simpson killed 2 people in 2006, Glenn Palmer and Anthony Jones. Now, flash forward 2 decades to now, that clemency hearing is today, where he'll ask for mercy. His time of death is just weeks away from now. He and many will argue he's dealt with a lot in his life, from growing up in the 9th Ward of New Orleans, surviving Hurricane Katrina, to even being shot himself. Now, he moved to Oklahoma shortly after Hurricane Katrina, and that's when he killed Palmer and Jones. Today, his attorney says that Simpson will talk to the Pardon and Parole Board, wanting mercy.
Kendrick accepts that he must be punished and he will die in prison one way or another. Kendrick understands he is a deeply flawed man who has caused immense pain. He takes responsibility for killing 2 people, for psychologically scarring one, and for forever changing the lives of the people who loved them.
Well, ultimately, this is up to the governor, but this Pardon and Parole Board meeting, it starts at 9 o'clock. Simpson will be there again. Now, we have heard from state leaders like the Attorney General Gentner Drummond, and he said in previous stories that Simpson hasn't shown genuine remorse on this. We'll be following this very closely and bringing you the latest. Reporting live, Dakota Wapakichi, KOCO 5 News.
I don't know what your thoughts and feelings are regarding people on death row. I mean, it's always interesting to hear people's perspective, what they think about individuals that are on death row, whether they deserve clemency after so long, or if there's new evidence found, any of that stuff. But with this man, the most important part that I heard was the upbringing. And whenever you get into somebody's upbringing, that's where it becomes a slippery slope. And what I mean by that is where, in my perspective, the therapist clashes with the officer of the court, okay? You know, I get that a lot of people have very unprivileged upbringings and they have it tough, especially growing up in that part of the world where crime is right outside your doorstep. I get that wholeheartedly. But at the same time, you might have a neighbor that grew up right next to you. Same situation, same nightly and daily battle that they walk to, getting to school, from school, having to watch a fatherless environment once you get home, all these things that shape a young person's mind, okay? So, for one, having the opportunity to get out and becoming a civilized pillar of society while the other one takes the less privileged route, growing up in the same gutter, what makes one any better than the other, right? Well, they both had the same opportunities to make a difference in their lives. So, at a particular point, you can say, yes, you had it rough growing up. You didn't choose to be here. But at what point do you stop with that and say, okay, you're gonna be held accountable because you killed some people. I don't know what you think about the death penalty. I don't know what you think about that. But here's another story about an inmate that was killed just days away from their release. Let's hear this story. Like I said, just showing you different things.
Standing in front of the Greyhound bus station where they were set to have a family reunion on Wednesday. They had it all planned out. Jimmy Trammell, he was going to be released from that prison in Washington County, catch a bus here to this Greyhound bus station and start his new life. But he was killed 4 days before his release.
He did 10 years in his prison and he didn't make it home.
Home. It's where 42-year-old Jimmy Trammell expected to be Wednesday after 10 years as an inmate with the Georgia Department of Corrections for felony burglary charges.
He was going to be taking the bus back here and he needed to be picked up from the bus station. And I was going to pick him up from the bus station, but I didn't get that chance.
According to Aquinas, his brother Jimmy Trammell was killed Sunday as fights broke out in the Washington State Prison in Washington County. Trammell is one of 3 inmates who were killed. The Department of Corrections saying Ahmaud Hatcher and Teddy Jackson are the other 2 inmates.
That's terrible. That is terrible. You're days away from being released and you get killed. Nobody deserves to lose their lives. I'm not one to play God, and I don't know how anybody else is about that, but nobody deserves to lose their lives. And if these individuals did deserve to lose it, I'm not the one to determine that situation. You know what I mean? He was days away from doing a 10-year bid and got murdered.
At least 13 other inmates and a corrections officer were injured. Aquinas got a call from the warden in the early hours of Monday morning.
She just said he was involved in an altercation and he lost his life.
For Aquinas and Trammell, the past 10 years have been rough. They lost both of their parents and 2 siblings, but Trammell's release was a chance at a second life, the turning of a new leaf.
He talked about proving to me a better side of him than what I know. And that was taken away from me. And I need answers. I really do.
The Department of Corrections say this all started as an altercation on a sidewalk between inmates that were a part of gangs. Within 2 hours, so they say they had this under control. But Trammell's family now obviously planning a funeral instead of a reunion. We're now live here downtown. I'm Candace McCowan for Channel 2. Action.
That is terrible. That is terrible, man. I mean, can you imagine waiting for your family member and they get killed before they come home? I saw this one earlier, and this one makes me sick. I mean, like I said, I'm showing different crime stuff all over the U.S. Different story, just to get a eye on crime all over the U.S. Different news stations. This one is here in Texas, and if you've ever been to Houston to watch the Houston Texans, they play at our NRG Stadium. So this is about an employee.
And tonight, Houston police are asking for your help after releasing new images tied to an incident at a Texans game that happened back in December, where investigators say a man approached a child inside of a restroom at NRG Stadium. That now former Aramark worker is in custody, charged with indecency with a child. Fox 26's Karis Belger spoke with the child's parents and has the latest.
It's a wave of emotions. It's up and down. There's a lot that we still have to deal with in regard to the criminal, civil, just everything, the recovery on our son's part. But day by day.
A wave of emotion comes and it goes.
These parents say that wave started December 14th during a Texans game at NRG Stadium. Court documents say Uche Marquise Nixon approached their 8-year-old son inside a restroom during the game and directed him into a stall, then asked him to remove his clothing. That child got away. The parents tell Fox 26 a nearby witness then approached the child's mother, saying the interaction, quote, didn't look right. That witness is concerned.
So there you go. That's what essentially happened. The worker pulled the little boy into the stall, told him to take off his clothes, and he got away. Jesus. It's not safe anywhere, bro.
Is what prompted the family to start looking for the person described and alert police. Officers say Nixon was working for Aramark at the time. He was taken into custody and is charged with indecency with a child. But this family says the damage is done.
It's something that we now carry with us forever because we look at every public situation differently now.
Court documents say Nixon was working for Aramark at the time. The company sent a statement saying it's aware of what it calls a very disturbing situation and that Nixon is no longer employed with the company. They're also cooperating with the investigation.
And Anthony, Houston police say any information from the public can be helpful, especially as they continue to move forward with this investigation.
Yeah, it's a very concerning story here for sure, Kara. So now, have you heard anything from NRG Stadium themselves?
We reached out. They did send us a statement, and in it, they basically said they work closely with law enforcement and its contracted partners to maintain a secure environment for all of their events.
I think any parent watching that story, the hairs on your arm kind of stick up because that's very concerning anytime you go to a game like that.
Yes, this kind of reminds me of the Dallas game where the girl was abducted and was sexually trafficked for a number of hours before they found her. Just, God, man, it's just one thing after the other. Let's see this one. It's talking about 2 Cobb officers arrested in separate instances. Hold on a second. Hey, Rondi, how are you doing? Welcome. This one's out of Atlanta.
Tonight, 2 Cobb County police officers have been arrested in unrelated cases.
Both officers are charged with crimes involving children. Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Cobb County, and Denise, details about both arrests were released today.
That's right. And again, now these cases are unrelated, but 2 officers booked into jail just a few days apart is certainly surprising.
2 men in jail orange jumpsuits instead of their normal blue police uniforms. Both men are Cobb County police officers. Both are now facing criminal charges in unrelated cases.
I'm very surprised, to say the least.
47-year-old Whitman Benjamin, who has worked for the Cobb Police Department for almost 7 years, was the center of a months-long investigation. Benjamin lives in Canton. In September, at the request of the Canton police, the GBI launched an investigation involving Benjamin. As a result, he was arrested Friday, charged with sexual battery against a child under 16.
Jesus. I can see why people have little trust for law enforcement. When you hear and you see this type of stuff when it comes to protect and serve, right? But like I said earlier, there are good, there are bad, and there are ugly. and everything we see and do in life.
First, I almost didn't want to believe it. You know, as a police officer, you expect them to keep us safe and especially our children safe. What made it extra shocking was that he's a very nice guy and very friendly and personable.
Just days after that arrest, another Cobb police officer, Tyler Bertolini, was booked into the Cherokee County Jail Tuesday on charges of 2 counts of cruelty to children. This came after an investigation by the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. Bertolini has been an officer with the Cobb Police Department for a little more than 5 years. We tried to reach him at his home, but no one came to the door. Cobb Police Chief Darren Farrell released separate statements about the arrests of the officers. The expectation in Cobb County is clear. Our officers must uphold the law and conduct themselves with integrity on and off duty. The statements also say the police department will respect due process and take appropriate action to maintain the trust.
I don't know about you, but what kind of trust would you have in law enforcement if almost back-to-back days you have 2 different officers arrested? What kind of trust would you have with law enforcement at that point? I don't think I'd have much. It'd be hard. It'd be hard. Let's see what else is going on. I want to click on that live police chase so badly, but I know just as I do, I'll get copyrighted. And here's another one. This one did the sentencing about a pizzeria attack out of New York.
Right now at 5:30, a heated exchange in the courtroom between a defendant and the judge as that man was sentenced for beating a pizza shop manager into a coma. Good evening. I'm Christine Johnson.
Welcome back. I'm Jessica Moore. The 2024 attack happened after the manager told the man he couldn't have his pit bull inside the restaurant.
Alice Gaynor shows us some of the video of the attack that was played in the courtroom, and we do need to warn you, it is disturbing.
Tyshawn Watson was originally indicted on attempted murder and 4 counts of assault. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assault and during sentencing told the judge he took accountability by staying on scene, but said if we watched the video right now, you'd see the pizza shop manager was irate and I was telling him to calm down. The judge said, I watched the video. You went around the counter. If you don't want to take responsibility, Watson kept interjecting.
The judge then said, I'd be prepared to play that video right now. And if
See, that position, I'll let you know here in a minute, Rondi. That position right there, it just seems like both of them men were escalating it. At what point do you bring your dog into an establishment? Especially when you're cooking food. That's unsanitary. The man could have lost his whole business and behind the customer.
I'm right and you're wrong, I'd take back your plea and go to trial.
The video from Roma Pizza on 5th Avenue between 19th and 20th Streets taken the night of August 19th, 2024 after 9:45 shows Watson enter with his pit bull off leash. He buys pizza and a drink and sits in the back. Prosecutors say the manager tells him multiple times he's not allowed to have the dog in the restaurant. A few minutes later, Watson gathers his things and is at the counter speaking with the manager. He walks around the counter and strikes Zachariah El Sharif, known as Zach. The brutal attack, which included the dog biting El Sharif, lasted around 4 minutes, as prosecutors say he pleaded with Watson to stop. When he attempted to escape, prosecutors say Watson put him in a chokehold and tackled him to the ground, stomping on his head. Watson walked back in and sat in the dining area until he was arrested.
So that shows you exactly what went on. That camera didn't lie. I mean, that dog shouldn't have been in the establishment off a leash. The fact that it bit this man tells you that he had the tendency to bite anybody else. So this manager was correct.
Sharif was unresponsive. in a coma for 2 weeks, treated for 2 months in the hospital for bruising, bone fractures, and a traumatic brain injury. They say he made a miraculous recovery. The judge turned back to Watson and asked a series of questions, trying to decide if he was remorseful. Watson, who says he was intoxicated that night, said he had a ton of remorse. The judge called Watson's actions heinous. She sentenced him to 17 years in prison, saying that whenever he had parole hearing, I'll use everything in my power to make sure you stay in the entire 17 years.
And you know, that's terrible that you're intoxicated and you go in a place. I get it. I get it. I'm not one of those to be prudish right now and say that I've never lost my temper while being intoxicated or even gotten into physical altercation. But you know what? This went way out of hand. He choked him out, body slammed him. He was in a coma for 2 weeks, bro. 2 weeks. Multiple fractures. I can't find that that police chase now. Now that you asked about it, it's like now I can't find it. And this is the story. This is my cousin right now. I know I told you this story one time on a live. Oh, I hate the stupid live caption crap. This is my cousin and her daughter talking about her son that got murdered.
Man shot to death by an Austin police officer is demanding justice tonight. They believe he was murdered. Fox 7 Austin's Shannon Ryan joins us live with the story. Shannon.
Yeah, Rebecca, this family is distraught and they are angry. They want answers from and consequences for those involved.
People need to come out and get justice for everyone because it's not right. It's not right what they did to him, and it's not right what they're doing to other people that are minorities.
This is my cousin right here, and this is, I guess, a spokesperson with her.
Candles lit along Wickersham Lane Wednesday night for Alexander Gonzalez Jr. This is where he was shot and killed by an Austin police officer early Tuesday morning.
I can't hug him no more. I can't tell him I love him no more. I can't. That hurts me. That was my baby. They killed me just like they killed him.
Austin Police Chief Brian Manley says an off-duty officer claims Gonzalez cut him off while driving.
He didn't have a uniform and he was in his own personal vehicle. Exactly.
How would you know? The officer claims Gonzalez had a gun, so he opened fire, shooting Gonzalez's girlfriend. She can be heard here yelling for the couple's infant inside their car. Gonzalez said driven a few blocks down the street when this cell phone video was recorded. You can hear the off-duty officer who followed clearly understood the wounded woman. Soon on-duty Austin police officers arrive, guns drawn. Manley says Gonzalez reached for something in the back seat, so one of the officers opened fire. Gonzalez's family believe he was reaching to check on his infant son.
That was everything. His girlfriend and the baby were everything to him. And if he had to risk his life, he would have done it. He would do any man would have done it for the family.
Yeah, that happened like 4 years ago. I tell you, man, I've lost 2 family members in Austin, both to murder. What's sad about that case is you heard that cop unload. He unloaded that gun. He unloaded that gun. But I think she did get justice. I think she was awarded so much money from the city on behalf of the event that went down. And In this case that I'm going to show you right now, it's something that's very important. It goes on every day from adult to juveniles to even toddlers. It's bullying. It's terrible. It's out of hand. This one's a story. I guess they killed her son.
Thankfully gave him CPR up until his last breath when the ambulance got there.
A family grieving the loss of their 17-year-old killed in gun violence, and tonight they are searching for answers.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at 9.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Schneider.
I'm Dawn Hasbrook. Tonight, Cicero police are still searching for the person who shot and killed a 17-year-old teen as he was leaving school last week.
Leslie Moreno spoke to the family tonight. They say the shooting grew out of an altercation that the victim's family tried to prevent. Leslie.
Hey guys, good evening. Yeah, the family says a teen was bullied by the alleged shooter. They say they reported it multiple times to the school. Unfortunately, they say nothing was done. Tonight, family is remembering 17-year-old Johanna Darim, a son, brother, and friend.
He was reserved. He didn't mess with anyone. He was always in his own world.
But we knew the other side of him that was happy and full of joy.
He always had a solution for everything and always had a smile on his face.
Cicero police say Johanna was shot and killed last Thursday near Morton East High School as the day was ending. This is the alleged suspect running away holding what appears to be a gun. Family says Johan was shot twice, in the chest and ankle. They say his girlfriend witnessed the traumatic incident.
She and another person.
I mean, that camera footage is unreal. That was clear to get. You know what I mean? There's no mistaking that's the dude. And you know, when it comes to bullying, I talk to my juveniles about this almost daily. When it comes to bullying, it is something that has been around forever. It doesn't excuse it. But you have to get to the core of that problem. You have to get to the core of the person who's bullying you. It's like, what is the problem? What makes this person so interested in your life that they spend every waking moment trying to make you miserable? And you see it on YouTube as well. Every day there's bullying going on, back and forth.
Thankfully gave him CPR up until his last breath. When the ambulance got there, he was already dead.
Family claims Johan had been bullied by the alleged shooter. Concerns were reported, but they say no action was taken. They believe that failure ultimately led to the confrontation.
They would tell the school what was happening and asked if somebody could be done about it. They knew a fight was imminent. The school would just suspend them.
Johan had just arrived to the U.S. from Colombia 4 years ago. He and his brother planned on enlisting in the Marines right after high school with the hopes of supporting his mom and seeing the world. Family is hoping that by sharing their grief, someone will come forward and help locate the shooter.
They are very concerned with the situation, and it's really hard to explain how they feel to see the person who took their child's life is still not behind bars, and there is also fear about retaliation if we speak up.
You know, if you know anything about the shooter, please do the right thing and call the Chicago police. You can't remain anonymous. Well, I guess this is where I'm going to cut this off. Like I said, I just wanted to get on and spend a little time with you and catch you up with some of the crime that's actually happening around the world, especially in the U.S. Because, you know, sometimes we're not given enough credence to the real homegrown crime that we have here. Rather, we spend it all attached on certain cases that, for whatever reason, have been solved. The people who either admitted to these crimes or were convicted are already behind bars. So sometimes you just got to move on. Until next time, Take care of yourselves and watch over yourself. My name is 12 Gauge, and this is my channel, 12 Gauge Investigative. Like, subscribe, and share. Hope to see you soon.
Gauge Investigators is the best.